This PowerPoint presentation will sort of give you a big picture overview of Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau. We're going to touch on our mission, our funding, public relations, sales, and the economic value of what we bring to our region. This will give you an overview of the Chicago Southland region. Actually, it's pretty large. It's from Midway Airport south to Peatone, and from the Indiana border to Joliet. It's 62 municipalities. And our job, our mission, is to bring into this area conventions, trade shows, sporting events. Big picture is to bring money to our region. It's all about economy. We have a lot of things to market and sell. Music theaters, baseball, gaming, hundreds of quality restaurants, communities, 5,500 hotel rooms, golf courses, museums, shopping malls, and so forth. The objective, again, as I mentioned, is to bring people into the area so when they're here, they're spending money. And that benefits everybody and also improves the quality of life of our region.
The Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau is the official destination and marketing organization for the 62 southwest suburbs of Chicago. Our mission is basically to manage, market, and sell the Chicago Southland as a destination. And we do this through promoting the lodging, the restaurants, the attractions, events and festivals, and other businesses. We go after and we solicit meetings, conventions, trade shows, sporting events, group tours, and leisure business. In other words, we're going and reaching outside of our area, bringing people into our area. So we engage in visitor promotions, with the main basis being we're generating overnight stays, heads in beds. This is true economic development. We promote economic development and aid in tourism-related product development also. Now, how we're structured. We are an independent 501c non-for-profit organization. We're a recipient of a state grant, and we're one of 42 state-certified CVBs. We're also apolitical. And what I mean by that is there are times when there might be political issues that we just don't get involved in. The third airport is a perfect example. If a third airport comes into our area, we're going to market and sell it because it becomes part of our inventory. But we don't take a stance on what should or shouldn't come in. To give you an overview of how our board of directors is structured, we have a 30-member board of directors. Each one of our funding communities, out of our 62, we have 20 that have actual hotels and motels. Each one of those mayors actually has somebody from their municipal side or from the attraction side or tourism side sit on our board of directors so they can have some say and get some good overview on what we do. We also have one representative from Southwest Council of Mayors and the South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association, along with Will County Governmental League. Then each year our chairperson appoints a representative from transportation, education, exposition, and the general membership. This way we have a very well-rounded board of directors. Now, one of the things that we find to be very important is to make sure people understand that we're not a chamber of commerce. Almost everybody knows what a chamber of commerce does because they have one in their area. But because we're so unique and there's only one convention and visitors bureau in the Chicago Southland region, many people don't quite understand what we do. Well, first of all, the difference is laid out here on the screen. The CVB attracts visitors, where the chamber attracts businesses. We lobby for hospitality interests, and the chamber lobbies for business interests. Economic growth by bringing new meetings and conventions and events is what the CVB does, where the chamber gets economic development through business relocation and expansion. So as I said, there's only one convention and visitors bureau in our region, but there's 34 plus chambers. Now, Illinois tourism revenues in 2013 were quite impressive. We've generated over $240 million. Many of those dollars go into the general fund to support tourism, but to also support education and healthcare. As you can see on the screen, the impact and the direct impact of expenditures, jobs, and payroll are quite impressive. And the tax revenue from federal, state, and local is also quite impressive. And this source is from the Illinois Bureau of Tourism. Now, if I could give you a little overview of our funding formula, which is very important. As I mentioned earlier, we're a recipient of a local tourism convention bureau grant. Those dollars actually come from the people that stay in the hotel rooms. When they stay in a hotel room, you pay a tax. That tax is collected, and a 1% tax is collected on our behalf for us to continue promoting those hotel rooms and tourism in our area. But a huge portion of the state grant also comes from hotel motel tax. So that's the beauty of tourism. Nobody is really paying for it but the people from the outside that stay in our hotel rooms. So our grant was for fiscal year 15, a little over $1 million. Then we went ahead and had the 20 of our 62 communities that collected hotel motel tax on our behalf. That generated $710,000. We also have a membership base, which is a very small portion of our budget. It's only 3%. But those members are important to us because that's our inventory of what we market and sell and promote to the people on the outside. And then we also have a non-dues revenue source, which comes from people advertising in our visitors guide, or attending some of our events, or promoting billboards in the region. So altogether, as you can see, our fiscal year budget was over $1 million. It was $1.9 million altogether.
One of the areas that we've been very engaged in is tourism product development. That's important to us. We're always trying to raise the bar. For example, in 2000, the Tinley Park Convention Center was completed. We now have a 70,000 square foot complex that helps to deliver more conventions, trade shows, and sporting events to the Chicago Southland region. This is an incredible complex, and it's a great benefit to our region. We also work very closely in the development with Toyota Park, a great complex primarily focused on soccer with the Chicago Fire, and it's also used as a music venue during summertime. We also worked and received a grant from the state, and we installed the Chicago Southland Visitor Information Center at the Lincoln Oasis, something that's very, very beneficial to customers and visitors that come into the area that are looking for things to see and do on their visit. One thing that we've also been reaching for is the potential development of a multi-use mega sports complex. Sports is an extremely viable economic impact driver for our region. If we were able to pull together the pieces, the funding, the location, it would create a destination driver, a sports destination driver for our entire region, benefiting not only the Southland, but the state of Illinois as well. We've also been working with Illinois State Toll Highway Authority and IDOT with the hope of getting installed these blue hospitality logo signs. To say it's been a challenge, well, that would kind of be an understatement. Since these signs are not installed anywhere on the tollway system, we initiated a program called a co-op billboard program. Basically, these are commercial billboards that have been installed with the intent of strategically locating them throughout the Southland, whereby people driving down the tollway see the sign and they say, hey, there's a McDonald's, there's a Wendy's. Get off, we got stuff. And again, the objective is to encourage people to get off the interstate and also buy products at those locations. Finding roadway signs to direct people to, for example, Midway Airport is very important. We discovered that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And we worked with Tollway and IDOT to install signs directing people to Midway Airport, exiting at Cicero and 294 to make it a straight shot, a lot easier for people to get to Midway Airport.
The Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau, out of our strategic plan, created the Frontline Training Program and the Ambassador Program. With the Frontline Training Program, we target frontline employees from different hospitality businesses, such as hotels, restaurants, attractions, and any other businesses that may work with the visitor. And what we do is we go out and we do a presentation on the Chicago Southland region, highlighting the different tourism aspects of what we have to offer, as well as basic frontline tools and tips of the trade. And with the Ambassador Program was created to help the Chicago Southland CVB spread the word of tourism. We have a great core team that goes out to our events and to different networking events to represent the Chicago Southland CVB and what the tourism industry means to the area. For the sales process, we target several different market segments. We go after the meetings market, which is the corporate, association, government, education, religious, and fraternal market. So we go after things such as annual conventions, conferences, board meetings, trade shows, retreats, things of that nature. We also go after the group tour market. So those are the motor coach buses that you would see at the different hotels. Those groups may consist of students, seniors, bank travel executives, people who may come with their grandchildren for the grandparents tour. We also focus on different events such as family reunions, military reunions, class reunions, and of course weddings. And then last but not least, the sports and the niche markets. We go after several different sporting events here in the Chicago Southland region, such as baseball, basketball, softball, and even some of those niche markets like taekwondo or chess or checkers, as well as consumer shows and hobby shows like My Little Pony or stamp collectors or model railroad collectors. Some of the events that we've previously worked with and held here in the Chicago Southland region are Baylor basketball. She does a series of tournaments here in the Chicago Southland region. The Illinois Nurses Association, the Independent Insurance Agents of Illinois, American Taekwondo Association, the United States Golf Association, Illinois Library Association, and Mary Kay. These are just a sampling of some of the events that we've hosted here in the area. These events create an economic impact of $4 million for the Chicago Southland region and created over 3,300 room nights. And how does the sales team solicit business? We work with trade shows and we go on sales missions. We work through local contacts. We're constantly prospecting databases from the organizations we have memberships to, or just basic internet research. We do a lot of direct mailing and work on those type of databases. We work on hotel referrals. So when a hotel in our area might be booked up, they would call the Chicago Southland CVB and say, hey, we have this group we want to have here in the area, but we unfortunately don't have space. Can you assist us? We would then turn around and work with that client to try to find a location to keep that business here in the Chicago Southland region. And then of course trade advertising and fam tours and site inspections are critically important. We find once a client comes to the area, sees our venues, sees our attractions, they're more than likely able to book an event or a meeting up here in the area. We attend on average 32 industry trade shows across the country and in Canada, focusing on all markets. So the meetings market, which is the association, corporate, government, religious groups, and then sports trade shows as well as motor coach trade shows. Some of the great examples of things that we've booked here after attending a trade show. We attended NTA, which is the National Tour Association, for many, many years. And we met with them at an appointment. It's called American Incoming Tours. They're based out of Canada, back in 2008, 2009, and 2010. Finally, after years of meeting with them at appointments, we were able to book 25 tours in 2011, which is 1,500 people, 750 room nights, creating an estimated economic impact of $112,500. It's a great investment for attending a trade show year after year after year, developing those relationships, and then finally solidifying not just one booking, but 25 bookings from that one particular group. Fiscal year 2014 produced several different sales results. We had 2,100 active accounts in our system. That's the meetings market, it's the group tour market, and it's the sports market. We generated 231 sales leads. Leads would be considered groups that are looking at the Chicago Southland region to potentially host their motor coach bus, their meeting or convention, or their sports group. We had 89 bookings, so 231 leads, and 89 of those did book in the area, creating 10,138 room nights with an estimated economic impact of $9.3 million. We do produce several sales publications that assist us in our marketing and sales efforts. We have the Chicago Southland Sports Venue Guide, which highlights our sports venues in the area. We have a Reunite Guide, which targets the family reunion market. That is an extremely critical market to our region, especially in the spring, summer, and early fall months. And we also target military groups. And of course, the meetings and conventions market. That focuses on our hotels, our meeting venues, our colleges and universities, as well as Irons Oaks, our corporate team building facility.
Trade advertising that the Chicago Southland CVB places are in various markets such as sports, meetings and conventions, reunions, and group tour. The ad you see on the screen is a half-page sports ad, and all the ads are similar in the way they are designed. They are half-page with some multiple photos included in the ad, as well as some contact information specific to that market. We also place leisure advertising, such as the ATSI hotel coupon book, which you see on the right. What we allow is our hotels to choose, free of charge, one of two different coupon books where they can place an ad offering a discount year-round. On the left, you see the Illinois Travel Guide. That is an example of a state publication that we advertise in. And you see that that ad is a quarter page. We do vary somewhat in the ads based on price, but once again, some of the elements are the same with the 3 photos and contact information. We also have a local grant program, and to qualify for a local grant, you must be a member municipality or a nonprofit organization within the region or sponsored by a local municipality. Grant funds are available for the placement and production costs of newspaper, magazine, radio, and television advertising to promote tourism attractions or events. Grant money should be directed towards advertising a 100-mile radius outside the event or attraction being promoted. We award up to $66,000 annually, and we have 6 workshops and 6 grant cycles. Applications are due the 1st of June, August, October, December, February, and April. Over $1 million in grants has been awarded since 1991. Here are some examples of some of the projects that have been funded through our local grant program. We have Irish Fest, which is a big festival Memorial Day weekend. They advertise in different Irish publications and get over 100 hotel rooms on average each year. Then you have the Midwest Security and Police Conference taking place in August. You have the Proud Lady Expo, which takes place at the Convention Center in May. And the Big 3 Nike Series, which took place in 2013. And this is our best example to date on the local grant program working. We had over 600 hotel rooms booked from this particular event. In front of you, you see the Chicago Southland CVB website homepage. We have a section for visitors, meeting planners, sports planners, group tour planners, social event planners, and an About Us in Media section. On the bottom of the page, you'll see our hotel booking bot, where anyone can go ahead and click on that Go button and purchase hotel room nights from any hotel that's on the global distribution system. We also have a button on the bottom for Hosted Here. If you're local and you belong to a meeting, event, or tournament, and you think we can host it in the Chicago Southland, we can help you with that. We have a special deals button, festival and events, and planning your trip. Also on the bottom, you can sign up for our newsletter, and we also have our social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, our blog, and YouTube. So our fiscal year 14 totals were 277,700 unique visitors to the website, with 1.28 million page views. So page views per user was 4.61. An example of a member page on our website is in front of you right now. This is the Children's Museum in Oak Lawn. Not only do they have their address information, it links to their website. You can email directly from this page. It has their logo, a photo, a video, a coupon if they have a coupon in our system, and then as well as map and directions. On the left here you see an icon for an interactive map. What this map does is it allows a visitor to customize an itinerary or place 2 or 3 items that is an attraction or a restaurant or a hotel and actually get directions from each one to the other. We also have some sample itineraries already in place in the interactive map.
Here at the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau, we actually run a very comprehensive Google AdWords campaign. Now, these AdWords are keywords that, when typed into Google or any search engine, bring up our website. Now, these range in interest, everything from various member municipalities to hotels and lodgings, arts, culture, rail fanning, etc. Now, in fiscal year 14, our totals reached 3.5 million marketing impressions. Now, what that number means is that 3.5 million people, when searching for various things, came across our website. The number below it, 58,000 clicks, are the active users that have actually clicked to our website to find out more information. We also have a web button here at the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau. As you can see on the Village of Homewood's webpage, Highlighted in the red circle is our web button. Now this web button is designated to bring people to our website to learn more information about the Chicago Southland. So for instance, if you're on the Village of Homewood's webpage and we're checking out Chocolate Fest but wanted to know what other festival and events or restaurants or other things there were to do in the Chicago Southland, you can actually start your experience with our web button, clicking it, and it would bring you to our website that has all that information compiled.
The Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau is very active on social media. As you can see, we have an account with all the major social media channels. With Facebook, we provide a lot of information for families and ways that events they might enjoy in the Chicago Southland. With our Instagram account, we highlight a lot of the places to golf or places to eat. And we have a blog where we mention what's going on in the weekend. We try and highlight all the things to do in the Chicago Southland during major holidays. Each quarter we try and provide to our stakeholders and board of directors the analytics and insights of the social media summary. So as you can see, we mention how much we posted through our social media channels, how many people subscribe to our e-newsletter, to our Leisurely account, what our top blog posts were and what they covered. We also like to let them know what the highlights were and what everybody shared the most on our social media channels, so that everybody knows what visitors to the Chicago Southland are interested on.
The Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau is also heavily engaged in a public relations efforts. Annually, we average $150,000 in advertising equivalency, and we've held that number strong over the last 2 years. Now, how we get that number is actually very interesting. What ends up happening is when we place an article in a trade publication or a local newspaper, we will measure the column inches and multiply that number by the advertising rate for the publication. That will give us a figure that we keep in a database until the end of the fiscal quarter, which we will tabulate. And then at the end of the fiscal year, we tabulate it into one giant number to give us an idea of what our advertising equivalency would have been had we actually spent money. On your screen, you are seeing a couple of different things. One is an article that we ran in Group Tour magazine talking about a trifecta and sculpture. The other is an article in the Daily Southtown, formerly known as the Southtown Star, about our big dream here at the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is a multi-use sports complex. The idea of having these articles and placing them in these different trade publications, local media, newspapers, and the whatnot, is the ability to bring in travel writers from all over the country into our region to experience the daily life of the Chicago Southland. On the right hand of your screen, you can see 4 travel writers that came in from various parts of the country, and this picture was actually taken in Nathan Manilow Sculpture Park. Now, the idea behind bringing travel writers in is each travel writer has a little niche market. Some might be interested in rail fan spots, some might be interested in restaurants, mothers vacationing with children. Travel writers' interests really run the gamut, and we try to provide them a unique experience in the Chicago Southland, so they write about it, publish about it, and bring more people into the area.
The Chicago Southland has a multitude of publications. We have an annual visitor's guide, annual coupon book, festival event guide, which we print twice a year, and a new rail fan guide. We do have other guides in addition to these 4, but these are the main guides that are distributed throughout the hotels as well as sent to visitors. These are just a number of ways, or places I should say, where our guides are distributed. We have guides at Midway Airport, shopping malls, Water Tower Visitor Center, hotels, our Visitor Information Center, the State of Illinois Travel Information Centers. We take our guides to trade shows. Regional organizations have them on hand, member businesses, sporting events. We also pay to distribute our guides at 5 Indiana Information Centers. We have our events, our festival and events guides at events, and we have our guides at consumer trade shows. We also run a Visitor Information Center at the Chicago Southland Lincoln Oasis. And in fiscal year 14, we served 19,822 visitors and distributed over 152,000 brochures.
The Bureau also has a membership benefits program. They include participation in joining us at the National Tourism Day, which is held in May, our annual meeting and lunch in September, the holiday membership event in December, and a number of very good workshops that help our members as well. This is National Tourism Day. Here's our annual meeting, and this is one of many seminars and workshops that we're engaged in. We have a lot of support from a variety of members that see the benefits of what we do. This will give you just a cross-section overview of the many organizations, companies, businesses that support the value of what we bring, and of course they benefit from our efforts as well. Some of the membership benefits include participating, being included in our visitor guide. We have a festival and events guide being on our website, coupon book, our specialty guides and brochures, and our monthly Southland Scoop. Membership benefits include being on our mailing list for members for your own marketing efforts, included in our media list, which we provide, included in our quarterly newsletter, direct referrals, familiarization tours. Our job is, again, to make as much positive exposure to the Chicago Southland for our members as possible. Some of the other benefits include public relations assistant, advertising partnerships, membership plaque, and being included support material at the Chicago Southland Visitor Information Center as well. The takeaway from this PowerPoint gives you an overview. Bottom line, we have a budget of about $1.9 million. We have 12 full-time employees. We represent 62 municipalities. Of those 62, 20 provide us funding support because they have hotels. We have 65 hotels in our area and represent over 5,500 hotel rooms. Annually, we produce about 135,000 visitor guides, and in FY14, sales generated $9.3 million in estimated economic impact for the Chicago Southland region. And you ask, why is this important? What value does it bring? Well, tourism supports in the state of Illinois over 300,000 jobs. That's pretty significant. 1 in 10 Illinois supported directly or indirectly by tourism. Last year, we welcomed over 105 million visitors to the state, and tourism generated $34.6 billion in direct expenditures. Tourism also generated over $2.6 billion in state and local tax revenues. And here's the big kicker. The average Illinois family saves about $1,300 in taxes each year because of tourism. And as you can see, the tourism and hospitality industries benefit the entire state of Illinois and, of course, the Chicago Southland region. And this is the bottom line. This is really what it's all about. These folks coming into town, they bring money with them. And as they do, they need products and services. They come in, they may rent a car, buy food, buy gas, stay overnight in a hotel. And the people that work at these establishments earn their income from these traveling dollars that come in. They, in turn, pay taxes, buy groceries, buy cars, take mortgages out. And that's why it's so very important. What this means is that in Illinois, over 301,000 jobs are employed. That equates to 1 in 10 people living in Illinois are employed in the hospitality industry. That will give you a big picture overview of what we do, how we do it, and if you have any suggestions or ideas that can help us raise the bar, we're always here for you. Again, if you want to check out our website to learn even more, www.visitchicagosouthland.com. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate your interest.